call this Warsaw-Wayne Fire Territory meeting to order. We'll start off with the pledge, followed by a moment of silence. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll now have a moment of silence. Thank you. You may be seated. Start off with the roll call. Michael Honderas.
Present.
Chief.
Present.
Gordy Nash. Absent. Dave Albritton. Absent. Jeannie.
Present.
And this presiding officer here, so Heather also is not here, so legal will take minutes and also advise us throughout the meeting. Thanks a lot. We do have enough for business. We do. I couldn't get into this one. So this one's worth, that one.
No, it was personal.
That-
Oh, yeah, all right.
But thanks again for all your help with that. We do have 3 present, so we do have enough for a meeting. That's a quorum of the 5 voting members. The first item is the approval of the minutes from our last meeting.
Mr. Mayor, I've read the minutes. I make a motion to approve them as presented.
Motion to approve. Is there a second?
I second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay?
Nay.
Yep, the ayes have it. Thank you. Yep, you got it. You said aye, good, we got it. Good, welcome. Yep. Speaking of welcome, good to see you.
Made it.
Yeah, very good. For the record, Gordon Nash is present. We have 4 voting members here. Lori, we did have enough for approval of the minutes, so without any objections, I'll continue to move.
No
Is that right? Okay. Might be a good idea with the mics that you speak up a little loud, if we had some issues, so yeah, so as you speak, that will help you, Jeannie, moving it toward you would help you if you're single. Assistant Chief, welcome. All right, good. Reports oral and written, the Lutheran EMS report, it looks like there's no representative here. Chief, do you have any comments?
No, again, Alicia apologizes for not being able to attend the meeting. Again, still available for questions if you have any, feel free to reach out to her. It looks like they had 473 runs for the month of May.
Most runs yet.
Any comments or questions related to that report? Hearing none, we'll move to the next item. The Warsaw-Wayne Fire Territory Monthly Report for May of 2026. Chief.
Yeah, so for the month of May, we had 246 emergency responses, 28.46% overlapping incidents, and then kind of a breakdown as far as medical calls, we had 859, non-emergency calls, we had 40, public service calls, we had 22, hazardous situations 13, fire calls 9, and rescue calls 3. Out of the response areas, Station 17 had 115 in their response area, 98 in Station 13's response area, and then 33 in Station 15's response area. As for the training hours, we had 89.75 hours, covering a variety of topics, mainly EMS, our pre-plan, apparatus, operations, and then some recruit training, and then some technical rescue skills as well. We had 46.7 next page is kind of a new one that I've added, and if I can, I'll explain it real quick. So, as I just presented, we had 246 calls for the month of May, and I just wanted to break down, this report breaks down kind of the apparatus response. So, of those 246 calls for the month of May, we had 432 times, or amount of apparatus that actually went out the door. So it sometimes reflects that we're not as busy, but again, almost double the amount of calls, or times the truck went out the door, the apparatus went out the door for those calls. So just wanted to point that out there. On average, it takes about 1.4 to 1.6 apparatus per call. So some calls you get one apparatus, some calls you get 4 apparatus. It just depends on what the nature of the call is and what the type of call is. So you will see that report out there. I don't know if anybody has any questions over either of the two, but and then obviously there's then the breakdown of actual calls through all those other reports as well.
Any questions for the chief on the monthly fire territory report?
Is this a new format?
It is, yes. So we are still, with the transition to Nearest, we're still trying to find a format that gives us the most information. I understand we keep changing it and it looks a little bit different. It's still the same general information, just it may be a little different format. We're trying to fit a lot of information into a kind of a one-page summary, and that's why you see the additional pages following the 2 reports that I actually present on that give a more detailed account. And I'll speak a little bit more on that data a little bit later when it comes to travel requests as well.
I don't like it. Simple.
Any other questions? Hearing none, we'll move to the next item, which is a monthly expenditure report. It's the operating fund 2243 for May of 2026. Chief?
Yeah, as I look through the report, just a lot of the common things that come out of the report. The only thing that we did have done in May, we had our annual host testing done, so you will see that come out of that fund as well.
Any questions for the chief on that report? Hearing none, we'll move to the last one, which is another monthly expenditure report. It's the equipment replacement fund 4410 for May of 2026. Chief?
Again, the only thing is we did have our annual pump testing done for all our apparatus, so you will see that out of there. The only other big expenditure was the purchase of the Tough Book tablets that I presented earlier on in the year. So we did purchase those, and they're officially in the vehicles operating.
Any questions for the chief or comments on that report? Hearing none, I'll consider all 4, seeking a motion as presiding officer to accept all reports as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion will approve all as presented. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Corey. Call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, nay? The ayes have it.
So are the tablets out in the field now?
Yes, they are.
Guys like them?
It still a little hesitant of the technology change, but, for the most part, I think they do see the benefit of it, and I think after a short amount of time, it will start. We've only really had it in there for about 2 weeks,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, there is a learning curve. Thank you.
There is no unfinished business, new business. First item is a purchase approval, 2026 Chevy. Chief?
Yep, so, I am requesting, approval to purchase a 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500. So this will, this is a vehicle that was, originally I was going to budget it to be replaced, in 27. But through working, with this board, the Airport Authority Board, and then the Board of Works, we were able to purchase, the Tahoe from the airport, which saved us a significant amount of money. So I am just requesting for approval to purchase this vehicle, with the remaining funds there. And then with the addition of that, so this is a budgeted purchase. We just have a significant savings from purchasing the airport vehicle. And then with the street department, them having the capabilities of being able to decommission the old vehicle and repurpose some of those, lights and things to go into the new vehicle, saves us a significant amount of money too. So I feel very comfortable with purchasing this, just seeking your approval to move forward.
Mayor, you good with that?
Yeah, I am. I actually was pleasantly surprised with the price. I mean, I know it's not cheap, but I will tell you, that price not bad, even with the package, with the specific package that you got, that SSB, whatever that stands for. So, and I appreciate your work on it, and I have no problem with it, none.
Yeah, and this, you'll notice in the second page, that is the Warsaw-Wayne bid. So Kelly Chevrolet does have like the state QPA price, and I may lean on Adam for some of this, but that is, it is a discounted price through the Warsaw-Wayne bid as a like, I don't want to call it cooperative purchase, but we're able to tag on to their bid as well. And then I believe, again, and I'll lean on Adam for this, technically, this is a purchase that I could just go buy without the approval, but I believe in being fully transparent in what we're spending our money on, and, so that's why I'm bringing it here to you.
Is this a replacement?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
This is a replacement vehicle for our training officer. And typically we get Tahoes, but with the training officer, they haul a lot of stuff out of the training center, haul, empty bottles to be back to be filled, so, working with Assistant Chief Corner, Fran, Division Chief Kinsey, we decided to go with the pickup truck, which was also the suggestion of the street department mechanic as well.
Any other questions? And I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So move.
Is there a second?
I second.
There's a motion and a second. Thanks, Jeannie. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Next item is a purchase request. Is for a Station 17 generator. A lot of things going on with this one. I looked at it earlier. Chief, what are we looking at? What are you seeking from this board?
Yeah, so this is kind of a lengthy, packet here that I gave you, and I know that and I understand that, so I tried to give you kind of a 1 or 2 page rundown, of kind of 3 page rundown of kind of where we're at and what we're doing. Relied a lot on the territory attorney as well as the city attorney. So what had happened, is back in, we have our generators for all 3 stations annually, or biannually service, so, twice a year they come in, they check them, make sure they're doing good. Back in December of 2005, on on the report was that the generator had poor reliability and that parts were starting to get scarce and not be available. And so that service technician recommended that it's over 40 years old, we probably need to start looking at replacing it. So obviously my budget for 26 was already done. My plan was to budget it in 27 to start replacing it, so we obtained a quote to try and just get a ballpark idea of where we needed to be. And then 6 months later, they came back to do it again, and they cannot get the controller to go into auto, so the generator will not run, which means we do not have backup power in the event we lose power. And so my original request is to, so again, I reached out, got a few more quotes, those are on page 2. And then my original kind of request was just approve the purchase and then let me, there's a lot of backside things that have to happen in the background before the generator can even be purchased. The current generator does not power the entire station. We have added the street department radio equipment and some wastewater radio equipment in that downtown station, as well as all our backup equipment in the event of emergency. We can talk to the street department can talk to us, along with all other departments within the city. So a lot of that main equipment that we use, that we have to have, won't function with the size generator that we have, so we need to up the size of the generator. With doing that, I'm still kind of waiting on NIPSCO to get back with me, because we have to upsize our meter and our gas line, so I'm waiting for a quote from them. But I'm just seeking your kind of permission just to start getting this ball rolling. The lead time on a generator, I've been told is anywhere from 24 to 28 weeks. So obviously that's a long time to go. I'm hoping that there's no power outage or anything like that we can continue to function. So I don't know if Adam wants to speak or anything on it, but on, I guess, the process. But I guess what I'm requesting is I want to get it fixed. We need to get it fixed. We need to move on it probably sooner than later. And I believe with Adam, you all should have a letter in front of you. That was a letter drafted by him saying that we need the Indiana code to buy.
Yeah, I can talk to it a little bit. Obviously, everybody's familiar with the idea of, public purchasing and the processes that go there, even from a kind of a basic understanding. But as far as publication and notice, Indiana law though under this 52210 has a number of parameters for special circumstances, where you have a situation where under subsection 4, if there's emergency conditions or any threat to public safety or health or welfare or anything like that, that those general purchasing rules, if this board finds it appropriate, can be skipped, and in the sense of we have to get the repair done. If there's a major power outage and the ability for your guys to respond, my understanding is that makes it very difficult, and communications is important for public health and safety and all that kind of stuff. There's also another subsection as well that Chief brought up, which is subsection 9, which also allows a special purchase outside of those requirements if there is a situation that seriously impairs the functioning of an agency. And I would also say that this probably meets that requirement as well. It's very difficult for that station to function if there were to be some sort of power outage or something of that sort. So I've kind of laid those out there in that letter. City attorney's also reviewed this letter. Based on his response, his approval as well. Ultimately, it's your decision though. But I think based on what, Chief and the reports that you have there in front of you, this causes a major problem if there's not backup and they were to have another outage. So that special purchasing requirement still requires that there be some effort to make sure that there is fair bidding and fair process. And I think that Chief has done that well with the fact that he's gone through and actually still gotten 3 quotes
so I guess, if okay, and I haven't really talked, but I did speak with, the city attorney a little bit about it, as well. My last paragraph in that letter, I'm asking for the final contractor selection and alignment of the engineering scope, be handled at the discretion of, myself or, any other command staff, best match our budget parameters. I don't want to, necessarily, while I would like to, and I agree we need to go with the lowest, if they can't get to it for 6 months, but the next closest can get there, within 2 weeks, I think that difference should account for something. But I will tell you, I have been in contact with all three, and so far, the Kehoe and Sons, which is the lowest, has said he could start on the project. Now, obviously, it's dependent upon the generator, and the lead time on the generator and them ordering it. I don't blame those companies for not wanting to order a huge purchase, without a signed quote or a signed bid. But I would ask for those parameters in there as well. But as of right now, from what I'm talking with, I look to award it to the Kehoe and Sons. But I don't want to definitively say that if that's acceptable,
Have all
depending on the
these
time frame that it can.
firms dealt with generators like this?
Yes.
These are big generators, these are, they've all had experience dealing with these.
I would assume, as they quoted them, and they're all electricians, but that is just, an assumption. They obviously sell the generators, they
Do they service them as
do
well?
service them as well, yeah, so I do
Definitely
believe
want
so.
someone who knows what they're doing.
Yes, correct.
So emergency action, Indiana code backs it up. We have both legal departments, Warsaw-Wayne Fire Territory and the city of Warsaw, believing this is good form. Chief, you are telling us, you and your staff, leadership, would like to take action. You're not asking this board to support one or the other. Under emergency, let him act and take care of it as quickly and as the best bid that you can actually find, which
Okay.
includes more. You know, I've only been around for about 30 years. It's more than just the price. I will agree with that. But us just saying yes and move forward allows him to take action. You would then bring it before the Board of Works, saying the same thing. It may be in by the time it gets to the Board of Works, but you will bring it Board of Works and you'll say the same thing. Is that correct? Do you plan on doing that?
Yes.
Just for the record.
Yes, I believe it goes to the board works on the 17th.
Okay, so here's what we're working on, or here's what we did under Indiana code, advice from legal, and also something that we believe is in the best interest and safety for the community. Those are all the storms we've been having lately, so I agree with you. I do not have, as mayor and presiding officer, any concerns with this request, especially knowing what I've heard from both legal teams. And I want to thank you for your leadership, Adam, helping the chief and leadership on this. So, any questions or concerns for the chief or Adam?
I would just say that based on the work that our board attorney has done and given the charge that we have for maintaining public safety, we would be negligent in our duties if we did not proceed with this. So I would gladly make a motion that we approve this, I guess, special request,
Yeah, that's a
emergency
great way. I
request
think special
Yeah,
request.
Special purchase, yeah.
to get this ball rolling. When you look at the news, almost every night on the news, there's a tornado or a flood or a storm,
Thunderstorm.
trees coming
Oh,
down,
yeah.
it's crazy.
It has been.
How many storms are going on in this country, we've just been lucky. So I would say, yeah, let's get moving.
Okay, so there's thank you, Mike, well said. So there's a motion to approve this special request,
And I second.
and there is a second. Any further discussion? Chief, thank you. I'll call the question. All those in favor, please please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Thank
Thanks
you.
for your work, both of
Yeah,
you.
thanks. Put that in the minutes.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks to the council for our work. Yeah, I got it.
Travel requests, we have quite a few if I remember right.
Yes, sorry. I'm
Chief?
Scroll down here.
Yeah, I am too, actually. Finally.
Yeah, Fire Marshal Williams to go to the Fire Inspectors Association of Indiana, Northern District bi-monthly meeting. This one's in Fort Wayne, on the tenth. Division Chief, Max Kinsey to go to Practical Fire and Arson Scene Search and Evidence Recovery class in Avon. Firefighter Bollinger to go to Incident Command 300, which is a NIMS class, and it's here in Warsaw. Fire Marshal Williams, again, to go to the annual Indiana Fire Investigation Conference in Danville. Division Chief of Training, Max Kinsey, to go to the All Hazards Incident Management Team in Elkhart. And then, there was an updated one that Heather sent out, and this one, is your guys' the updated, or is it just myself and then Lieutenant Schilling?
I see,
Jason?
yeah, I see Joel, Will, Max, Nate, and Tony.
Okay, mine does not show that for some reason. But there should be five of them, I believe,
Five.
to go to Nashville to the Unified Conference. So what this is our conference for First Due, which is our reporting software. It has, I believe it's 11 different modules within that software. It is all our records management system, everything from our scheduling, everything from all our assets, our truck checks, our annual requirements that we're supposed to do, our training is reported in there. That's where all the data and the reports come from. And so as we have found time and everybody's kind of dividing up roles, that Assistant Chief Cornerup is in charge of the scheduling. Lieutenant Schilling is in charge of the assets. Division Chief Kinsey is in charge of the training. I'm kind of just all of them, but more so the data analytics side of things. Trying to pull that data, we're not utilizing that system to its fullest potential. The company First Due is having a conference called Unify. It's in Nashville, Tennessee, so I'm requesting all five of us, myself, Assistant Chief Cornerup, Division Chief Kinsey, Battalion Chief Nate Iden, and then Lieutenant Schilling, who manages all of First Due, to go to Nashville, Tennessee for that 4-day conference. And then Lieutenant Jason Neer to South Bend for drilling for function lecture.
Chief, I don't think you mentioned Tristan and Kevin up at the top. I think.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong one.
That's okay.
The other one, yes. So there also is firefighter pass and firefighter trousers to NIMS 300 and 400. And it's incident command training that we require as you move up the chain to lieutenant, captain, and battalion chief and on.
I do appreciate the board's support, helping the chief and his staff, technology, the use of it, the ability to use it. I know that that's a huge commitment, 4-day conference, quite a bit of money, but we've invested so much in IT, it's so important for the fire department. I don't understand all of it, but it's so important, and you have this equipment, you have to be able to use it effectively. And so important in emergency services, and so, I think, Mike, you've been on the wage committee, you've heard about this, we're doing very, very well. But how can we continue to do better, to help staff, to help personnel, the use of technology and other tools related to it, to make us more effective. And so I really appreciate the chief, Assistant
way I understood it, it is, you're actually sitting down with the product expert that developed this, and you have that one-on-one time to show them actually our department, this is what I want to do with it, I don't have the settings quite right, how do I make it do this, and make it truly work for us. And I think, again, with those expectations set out, which they're already there, of, you know, the division chief of training is only going there for the training portions, there's different modules, kind of different tracks that they can take through this class, to really, so that is the go-to guy when you have an issue with the, say, scheduling module, you know, you go to Assistant Chief Corner. When you know you have an issue with your truck check form, you go to Lieutenant Schilling, and he's the product expert for us in that software.
Good.
So is this software we're using now?
Yes.
As I understand?
Yep, we've
Okay.
used it for the last about 3 years, and again, as we dig into it and as we get trying to be just more efficient, we're finding we are not using that to its fullest potential, and it is we pay a significant amount of money for this record management system, and to not use it to its fullest potential.
Is it constantly being upgraded, updated? Updates like you get on any computer?
It is, yes,
Okay.
they do. They make changes, they make tweaks. A lot of those are how to be more efficient. Kind of what we're running into now is these product updates will come out. We don't quite have our settings right, or we didn't set it up quite properly right from the get-go when we implemented it, because we didn't understand what we were doing when it was implemented. And so now that feature won't work to help us be more efficient, because we don't have things correctly on the backside. And their support team has been great, and we meet quarterly with product specialist that helps us kind of make sure we're using it to its fullest potential. And he actually, we considered going to this last year, and he actually told us not to. He said, hold off, I don't think you're quite ready, I think we can work with you a little bit some more. But then this year, he strongly recommended, we're to the point where we understand everything, we understand where we need to be, it's just a matter of figuring out how we have to function within the program, and that's what this will help us do.
Next step.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, appreciate that.
So when, I'll just use you, Chief, as an example. When you go and you learn this, will you pass that on to somebody else in the department, or will our assistant chief pass that information on? So if somebody leaves, they have all this information, now we have a void.
Yes, no, that is one place, in the past, I think the fire territory has struggled with that, and we have made significant strides in sharing the information.
Okay.
Moving forward,
Because it is expensive.
we are passing that on, that continuity of, if I leave, someone is fully capable to step up and take my role. And so we are working towards that. It obviously takes some time, but yes, the end goal is, and that's what all of these classes they go to. Now, some of them are most of the travel requests that they go to are for continuing education, or that they have to have for their certifications, or those types. But if they go to a class like, for instance, Lieutenant Jason here going to the drone for function, the expectation is him to go learn and then bring that back to other members of the department and pass on what he learned there. So, and that's kind of how we've been moving forward. If you're gonna go to these classes, we don't mind sending you, we don't mind having you go to these, but you will bring it back, so it's not just you that knows everything, it needs to be passed on to everybody.
Okay.
So to answer your question, yes.
Okay. Mayor, I have a question for you. Sorry if I'm talking all the
No,
time.
you're doing great.
We got 5 key people going all at once. Does that concern you?
It's not a concern of mine because of his request and wanting to do that, so. You have 2 battalion chiefs that are there, you also have the other leadership positions. The admin, obviously, for the 5 or 6 days travel, and then the 4-day conference concern, but I'm sure you'll have your laptop, your phone.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Yeah, and Fire Marshal Williams is staying back, and that was a concern. We did want him to go as well, because there's an investigation side of this portion, there's an inspection side of this portion, of this software, and, we just couldn't send everybody, so that was a consideration. We still have 2 battalion chiefs staying back as well. The department will take care of it, so.
Appreciate that question, that was a good question. Any other questions? Any other questions on any of the travel requests?
Does
Hearing
this
none.
company do any on-site training?
Not that I'm aware of. You know, Chief Corner?
I can reach out to them tomorrow and ask them.
Yeah, I don't believe so. They do have like a knowledge, they call it knowledge net, it's kind of a base, but it doesn't really get into it's just a general overview. It doesn't really get into the weeds and the backside settings, to make it specifically tailored to our department. It's more of just a generalized, course on how to use it.
Well, as you know, both of you, I'm a big proponent of utilizing technology. I think it's always important to stay on top of. Helps not only fire territory, but it helps all of our departments to be so much more efficient with our resources. That jumps out at me, 5 key people gone at once over 4 days. If you're comfortable with that,
I am, off the record.
and you're comfortable with that, it's,
I was out of town a month or 2 ago, and I think everybody in the city thought I was up in my office and closer to them, because I was on the phone, I was on the laptop, I was actually probably answering, don't tell anybody, more emails than I do normally. And, I was as effective because of the technology. I know they will be at the conference, probably all day, or most of the day, but they'll have their phone, they'll have their laptops with them if things come up. And also, I'm just thinking of leadership within, I know the individuals that will be, the battalion chiefs, as well as the marshal. I believe that the fire territory is in good hands with their leadership here on the ground.
so I assume we're not gonna be short-staffed when these 5 people are gone. You've made
No.
arrangements to bring.
Yeah, and that's where if you look at the actual travel request paper, you'll see, like staff needed, there's a checkbox for yes or no, are they on duty, yes or no, and then.
Now,
the
wait,
dates-
where are you?
The actual travel
Yeah,
request
not on
for
the
the
spreadsheet.
individuals.
If you scroll down to
Scroll
look
down
at the
to it.
actual travel request, for the individuals, it will say like on duty,
You have to go pretty far down, Mike, they're pretty far into it, so lengthy.
Yeah, it's 45 pages.
Yeah, you have to keep going, it took me a while to get down there too.
What page are we looking at? There's a box right up here on the left. Oh, 45.
If you get to around 35, 36,
36.
Iden is there, I think he's on page 36.
36 is item,
Yeah.
and then 39 is Lieutenant Schoen. But if you look at items, there is a checkbox there, is staffing needed? Yes. Are they on duty? Yes.
Okay,
That is a consideration, I believe, with Iden, his yes is the captain, who normally fills in the role of the battalion chief when they're off on vacation or anything like that, may not be there. So that's where you'll see that is do we need staffing? And so, how that works is the assistant chief or the battalion chief for the day will go back, we'll put out, and Lieutenant Schoen is on that same shift, so I would say with his form, without going and looking at our back page that we keep that doesn't get put in to you guys that we use for our own internal records, I'd have to go back and look at, battalion chief items. But I would venture to say, he says, yes, there's staffing needed because, we don't have a battalion chief. He's leaving, there's no battalion chief in that role, so a captain, and the captain is probably on vacation, or on some sort of benefit time, which means that we will have to hire back a battalion chief, or captain for that day.
you're comfortable with it, you think you have all your ducks in a row, if Mayor, you're
Thank
comfortable
you. Good.
with it, then, as a board member, I have to trust but verify.
Yes. Good.
Yes, and I do want to point out that,
So-
that there's a lot that goes into these travel requests, on our side.
Yes.
And, our ducks are in a row when we present them, and if they're not, we do deny travel requests, and we do not allow people to go if it is going to impair any of our daily operations, anything like that.
For
I'm
sure.
done with my question.
No, I
Turn-
appreciate it.
You have the floor.
Any other questions? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to approve.
Well, then I'll go ahead and make a recommendation to approve the travel requests, because I think it's gonna benefit the department, I think it's gonna benefit the territory, I think it's gonna benefit everybody, efficiency, so.
Motion to approve, is there a second?
A second.
There's a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Thanks, Mike, for your comments and questions. Other matters, the next meeting, Chief, August 4th at 4 P.M.
Yep.
August 4 at 4 P.M. It will be here at the Warsaw Police Department training session. Thank you very much, everybody, for that, starting with the police department, allowing us to live here for the year. Appreciate the board also coming. Any